Chapter 10. Vertical Stabilizing, Building ASR2 Anchors so the gate stops collapsing back into shadow. Vertical flicker is the first return of reality. Vertical stabilizing is the first return of reliability. This is where the book stops being descriptive and becomes operational. Because if you've made it as far as flicker, you've already proved something. The organizing gate is not destroyed. It's reclaimable. And MPIT is explicit about what recovery actually depends on. A symbolic reclamation, particularly the reintegration of ASR2, the organizing gate, and the authoring of a new self narrative. So, stage two is not feeling better. Stage two is building anchors that keep ASR2 online, often quietly, often imperfectly, so you don't keep dropping back into ASR3 fog or ASR1 terror. What stabilizing means in gate language. The MPIT paper defines ASR2 as the mature modulated system that integrates sensory, interoceptive, and symbolic input. It also defines what happens when the gate fails. ASR1 reactivates, ASR2 is bypassed, and ASR3 forms a looping fantasy state, producing dissociation, reality distortion, and false self construction. So, stabilizing is not a vibe, stabilizing is simply this. ASR2 returns often enough, long enough, that the loop can't reinstall itself as home. In other words, your reality mediation becomes repeatable. Not perfect, repeatable. The false hope. I'll stabilize when I understand. Survivors keep thinking the solution is explanation. If I can figure out what they meant, if I can find the missing data, if I can prove my innocence, if I can make the story coherent. But the paper is clear. When ASR2 misfires or is compromised, reality becomes substituted with internally looped projections, which means understanding can become a ritual that feeds the loop, not ends it. So, stage two starts with a hard pivot. You don't stabilize by solving the narcissist, you stabilize by restoring the gate. The clinical sequence, three tiers of stabilization. MPIT lays out a three-tier clinical approach aligned to symbolic recovery. For the book, we're going to translate those tiers into stage two anchors so you can see the mechanics and stop improvising in panic. Tier 1. Deactivate ASR1 enough that you can think again. MPIT emphasizes grounding and deactivation of ASR1 through somatic work to restore body ownership and interoceptive accuracy, stabilizing threat loops, and reassurance of basic safety. In plain terms, if your body is screaming, I'm going to die, you cannot build authorship. You can only survive waves. So stabilizing begins with body proof, consistent rhythm, sleep wake hygiene as best as possible, repetition, predictable inputs, breath, sound, rhythm work as threat loop stabilizers, not as spirituality, as physiology, reducing stimulus that spikes the loop, screens, stalking, chaos input. This is not self care. This is returning the organism to a state where ASR2 can even appear. Tier 2, mirror disruption and introject mapping. Stop living inside their gaze. Input is explicit here. Identify the narcissist's voice within the client's internal dialogue, map false self states and performative reflexes, and introduce diagrams, symbolic tools to deconstruct distortion. This is where stabilizing becomes structural because the loop isn't only behavioral, it's internal. It's the gaze living inside you. So, stage two requires you to do something that feels almost offensive at first. Treat the internal narrative as contaminated until proven otherwise. Not because you can't trust yourself forever, but because the paper's claim is direct. False self emergence is tied to ASR3 dominance, where identity becomes performative and externally authored. Mirror disruption means catching snapback moments where the false self reasserts control, naming ASR3 explicitly, not as shame, diagnostically, stopping the automatic compliance that pretends it's personality. This is where the map becomes a tool, not a concept. Reassembly and narrative authorship reseat the vertical axis. Input describes Tier 3 as reintegration of ASR2 through stable relational anchoring, therapeutic gaze, consistency, language based narrative work to reauthor meaning, and gradual restoration of symbolic time, affect, and identity. Notice what's being restored: time, affect, identity. That's gate work. That's ASR2 returning as mediator. And this is where stabilizing stop thinking about them and becomes build a new internal organizer that does not require the object. ASR2 anchors what you're actually building. An ASR2 anchor is anything that reliably does one of these three things. 1. Reduces the ASR1 spike. 2. Breaks the ASR3 loop. 3. Extends the ASR2 window. MPID explicitly emphasizes new symbolic anchors, language, diagrams, relational mirroring that allow ASR2 to be gradually restored. So we're not guessing, we're following the spine of the model. In stage 2, anchors are deliberately small, repeatable, and structural, not motivational, not aesthetic, structural. The hard truth about stage 2 recovery is not linear. This is where survivors often panic again because they think stabilizing means no relapse. MPID is explicit. Recovery is not linear, and the false self will return as a survival structure, with ASR3 reasserting in high stress or relational moments. So, stabilizing is not never falling back. Stabilizing is reorganizing the snapback faster, shortening the duration of the loop, restoring ASR2 sooner, returning authorship without self punishment. The therapist's role is described as mirroring accurately, challenging distortions without re traumatizing, noticing when the false self is speaking, and inviting the client back to truth. For the book, that becomes a simple instruction. If you punish the snapback, you extend it. If you locate it, you shorten it. The stabilizing marker. Object constancy returns in fragments. The paper gives one of the cleanest functional definitions in the whole model. In healthy adults, ASR2 allows the psyche to hold on to a relational anchor even when that anchor is absent. And that is what object constancy truly means. So, stage 2 stabilizing has a very specific marker. You begin to hold your own anchor in absence, not their anchor, yours. That's why you stop collapsing every time you're alone. That's why your chest doesn't drop every time you remember. That's why the day becomes readable again. It's not that grief vanishes, it's that the gate can metabolize it. Transition to chapter 11. Stage 2 makes ASR2 repeatable. Stage 3 makes ASR2 home. And the shift between them happens through one central act the paper keeps pointing to: symbolic reclamation, rebuilding the vertical axis until the self is no longer externally authored. Peace out. Loads of love.